So, this is a today's physics question paper and term 1 examination. Let us enter. If we see in that, you can see the terms and conditions of the question paper that we know very well. Please keenly, if you follow, we can avoid by using the choice the hard questions which we are not able to do. The next section 1, which we need to do only 25 out of 25 20 questions. If you see the question 1, what is that? Question 1 is explains as an electric dipole placed in a non-uniform electric field will experience option A, only a force, only a torque, both force and torque, neither force and torque. You are seeing already the answer which we kept as both force and torque. Usually, if you see electric dipole, you substituted in uniform magnetic field or uniform electric field, it experiences only torque, right? That we studies in first lesson of we called P cross E. But it is a non-uniform electric field. So here it will experience both force and torque as well as, right? So we have to go option C in this case. Okay. The next, coming to the second question. Let N1 be the number of electric field lines going out of an imaginary cube of side A that encloses an isolated point charge Q. Means in the cube there is a 2Q charges available, from that electric field lines are coming out. And N2 be the corresponding number for an imaginary sphere of a radius A that encloses an isolated point charge 3Q. Means inside the sphere 3Q is there. Then N1 by N2. Here they said imaginary cube, imaginary sphere, in the sense you can understand easily that is in the form of what is that? Gauss law. Okay, Gauss law, always we will prefer to take imaginary surface, right? So if you see that two charges are enclosed, in the sense closed integral of E dot ds is equal to, if N1 by N2, in the sense N1 stands for how much amount of charge is providing for us number of electric field lines 2Q. Okay, 2Q by epsilon naught and 3L by epsilon naught. Epsilon get cancelled if you do that. Then we are also having here epsilon when you are cancelling, right? Here also epsilon, if you cancel QQ, if you cancel, you will have the 2 by 3 is the answer whenever we are applying the Gauss law, right? You are seeing here. So therefore we have the answer B here in this case, 2 by 3. Next, coming to the in the circuit given below, P cross R means the resistance P and R and the reading of the galvanometer is same with the switch S open or closed. Then open or closed, in the sense you can consider it as a shunt way. Therefore resistances are varying. Then whatever the voltage is applying across this is constant since parallel. But we know that we called IR from there, I equal to V by R. So whatever the amount of current is comes here, it divides across the two branches and it passes through the Q as well as the galvanometer. Since however it is on or off, it will not divide, though it comes here. Since it is not connecting, it will not come here. Okay, then according to this we know Wheatstone bridge P by Q equal to R by S. From that with respect to the current, since the current flowing are dividing equal from the each branch in the each branch, therefore the same gets applied through this. So therefore the amount of current which will be joined at the junction will become same. Okay, that happens when it has passes through two branches, same amount of current, and if it meets here. So the amount of current in the Q and galvanometer G remains same, we can take out. So therefore we can go option D, IQ equal to IG. Now coming to the next question. Two wires A and B of same material having the length ratio 1:2 and diameter is the ratio 2:3 are connected in series with a battery. The ratio of the potential difference VA by VB across the two wires respectively is gives us A is a 1 by 3, B 3 by 4, C 4 by 5, D 9 by 8. Of course, you are seeing that answer is 9 by 8. How we got? We got basically the 9 by 8 answer from, we know we will write, if you want clear solution, A and B are the two wires, and from basic Ohm's law V equal to IR. Since the resistance is relating with the length and diameter, so R equal to, we can write rho into L by A. From there directly rho, since same material, rho is the same, so I can take area A1 and A2 for the second wire, and length L1 and L2 for the first and second wires. What I did, L1 how much, L2 how much, I substituted in the place. L1 is 1, L2 is 2, and whereas diameter I have taken as a radius, in a place of area of cross section pi r square, I have substituted there. Then therefore after substitution, you can see here for me, the length is L get cancel, and 2 is left there, pi r square cancel, you can see. And of course in a second case, R2 equal to 3 by 2, in the sense since it is a square, 9 by 4 we have. So 9 by 4 by 2, 2 if we will go up, so 9 by 4 into 2, because 9 by 8 it became. This is basic Ohm's law and connecting with the resistance. So this connection is required to know for the students. Students are failing, or students are not able to connect because of lacking of basics. V equal to IR we know, just R equal to, again we need to connect with the length and area, that's it. Okay, this is one of the question, easy one, but little we have to do. Next, you can see the question 5. The question 5, what you are seeing here, two moving coil galvanometer G1 and G2 have the following particulars respectively. Of course, galvanometer, if you are taking N1, A1, B1, N2, A2, B2 has given the values there. The spring constant K we have usually in galvanometer is same for both galvanometers, it seems. The ratio of the current sensitivity is G1 and G2 also provided here. So G1 and G2, why it has provided in the sense, so that G1 by G2 if you do, we can write N1, A1, B1, rest of the K's are constant, so cancel. N2, A2, B2 is also, we can divide. So since you are seeing the numbers, area A1, A2, B1, B2 is half of it is looking. So directly you can understand only N1 and N2 will be varies. So N1 by N2, and if you multiply that, we will get the 5:7 easily answer. Okay, this is NIAB is a basic formula in this case, right? If you want, we have here like current sensitivity like this, we can substitute, we can get the 5/7 the ratio. The next question 6, if you see, of course when most other people by looking this figure little they are feeling the panic. Of course the people who will prepare JEE mains and all, they can answer easily this. Okay, what is that? A current I is flowing through the loop as shown in the figure. Okay, this is one loop here, dotted lines are not, just they are showing the dotted lines, it's not connected. MA equal to R, MB equal to 2R. The magnetic field at the center of the loop is mu naught I by R times. Okay, now next, mu naught I by R times, in the sense what does it mean? Means whatever the magnetic field with respect to this loop at the center, how many times of the mu naught IR is a question. First we have to follow little geometry. By this loop, the A to D, whatever the loop is there, of course current is moving D to A. This D to A loop, whatever you are taking, this complete loop is having, with respect to this loop, how much magnetic field is here. And next, how much magnetic field with respect to the loop BC. The BC where you are seeing here, na? This 2. How much magnetic field is exerting by AB and CD. Of course, according to basic magnetic field due to a wire at a point, if you go with the A and B, it is looks a parallel direction with that. So since it is parallel direction AB and CD is, through that whatever the current passing, due to that magnetic field producing there, it is zero, because the point M is straight to that. Okay, even AB is also looking straight as a parallel point. So the wire is in such a way parallel to that point at that positions, two positions, CD position and AB positions, or this is AB is parallel to the point like this. This is CD parallel to this point at this point. So current and magnetic field should not be parallel. If it is parallel, then according to Biot-Savart law, mu naught I by usually IDL by IDL sine theta by r square, will write mu naught by 4 pi into IDL sine theta. Sine 0 gives us 0 value. So across points CD and AB, we will take it as a 0 points, and magnetic field through DA as well as BC we will find. So magnetic field through BC and AD, if you summing up, what will happen? You can see here. With respect to Savart law, I tried with the Ampere circuit law also, which was not revealed properly. So later on I have approached with that. You can have a glance here. The magnetic field with respect to the AD loop, okay, and at the same time magnetic field with respect to the BC loop, and rest of the other two loops, 2 points B and MA is 0. So these two, if I'll take it LCM, and if I'll find the resultant magnetic field at that point, I have B equal to 7 mu naught I by 16 R. Okay, means 7 by 16 times of the mu naught IR I got. 7 by 16 times of mu naught I by R, that too the direction into the paper. Into the paper I got. Okay, so here you can see 3 mu naught I by 8R plus 6 mu naught by 16R, other 2 points is 0. The summing of all this magnetic field due to the wire at a point is gives us B equal to 7 by 16 mu naught I by R into the paper. So that gives us nothing but as the options in the question is D. Result, sixth answer is D. Okay. So this is, you will feel people who is preparing for JEE mains and all, this is so easier. Okay. Next 6 questions we will discuss in the next video.